We're joined from Cairo by Editor-in-Chief of Al-Ahram, Mohamed Ezz Eldin. A very good day, sir, and welcome to Qnews. Do you think we're getting closer to a renewed war in the Gaza Strip, sir?
Thank you for having me on Qnews. Unfortunately, everything that's going on in the past hours are sad. The Israeli side is willing to restart the military operations, not a full-on war, but having military presence and not complying to the preconditioned points in the Sharm el-Sheikh agreement and taking over 50% of the Gaza Strip plan. So this is a known will, and from the start with the far right government pushing, and so even if the military operations are planned, or if the Hamas leaders in the yellow line, the so-called yellow line that the military or the occupation military have imposed, knowing that they don't know anything about aggressions, even if it was thought of as the worst restarting from the Hamas side, but this is giving the occupation government the green light to return the military operations and keeping the strip in escalating tensions to stop starting the second phase of the agreement, reconstruction, delivering humanitarian aid, and reopening or operating of the corridors without any obstacles like what's happening now. Everything was ready for the agreement to hold up as was agreed upon, but with what happened now and the willingness of the occupation government and the fear of losing support of far right leaders like Smotrich and Ben Gvir, even those who agreed to de-escalating tensions, but the tension is still escalating. And if tomorrow in his visit, Witkoff does not say something about this, and of course he will be in Cairo if they do not pressure Israel to de-escalate the tensions in the upcoming period.
How do you view the repeated Israeli airstrikes on the Gaza Strip, sir?
It is very unfortunate, and it is an attempt to keep the military operations going on in the enclave and renewing them in the occupied land in the Gaza Strip, and an attempt to also satisfy the far right government and the president of the government appearing that he did not give up the military operations fully, and what was agreed upon was returning the alive detainees and also the bodies of those targeted by Israel and were killed because of these shellings. And it is very unfortunate, and it is a breach to the ceasefire agreement and the truce. And in addition, that this breach today, there were around 20 airstrikes targeted on the Gaza Strip, and now we have around 40 killed since the morning, and we have around more than 47 breaches from the Israeli side, and this is unfortunate and shows that Israel does not stick to its word and does not keep its end of the deal and does not respect the mediation efforts or even respect the American government.
True, sir. Adding to this, of course, the Gazans and Palestinians that don't know anything about the yellow zone, and there are no flags there and there are no military there, so they pass by or cross to go to their hometown or to go to their houses, and then they get killed. Sir, how do you interpret the statements made, and how do you elaborate? Because you answered previously and you discussed previously Ben Gvir and Smotrich about resuming the war in Gaza. How do you elaborate it, sir?
Unfortunately, the occupation military did not give clear borders for the yellow zones, and so this is on purpose so that the displaced civilians cannot come back from the south or from the or from mid Gaza to the north. Those who have returned is a very small number. They go to check on their homes and then they go back to get their families. And when they go to such zones, to the yellow zones, they are targeted and maybe even killed. And so there is a want, and they want to threaten the Palestinians so that they cannot return to their houses in the in northern Gaza and to their houses that were destructed. And so this is not just just coincidental. This is actually on purpose, and this is planned from the occupation army so that the Palestinians, the displaced Palestinians, cannot go back to their houses and start reconstructing. The U.S. needs to pressure them, and we need some notification from the mediators and the guarantors to have the Israeli army to comply and to show clear borders, and so as not to target the displaced Palestinians when they are on their way back to their houses.
What about the statements made by Ben Gvir and Smotrich, sir, from your own point of view and the statements that they're giving?
They are extremist statements, of course, and it is very natural that they say such things, especially that their role is not really needed or not enforced as it was because of the U.S., Qatari, and Saudi mediation after signing the ceasefire agreement, and it also is some kind of supporting and trying to save face of the far-right government that the saying that the Palestinian resistance breached the ceasefire, so this is why they're going back to war. These are planned, and we need the international community and the U.S. to stand up and condemn such things, because these have the tensions escalate again day after day.
That was Mohamed Ezz Eldin, editor-in-chief of Al-Ahram newspaper from Cairo. Thank you very much for joining us on Qnews.